Okay, I have my voice back, which is a blessing, frankly. Still a bit kind of croaky, but I have my voice back. There has been so much happening in England. It is unreal. And it's not about to get any better. Well, at least not for the government. It's not allowed to get any better. Now, here in England, there has been a lot of issues with our government along the lines of how they're dealing with our economy. In fact, they're not helping our economy in any way, shape or form. There are far too many people on using things like food banks and living hand to mouth, trying desperately to feed their families and pay their bills and actually live and survive, and it's horrible. This concept that we know full well that our children will probably never leave home, and if they do, it'll be a miracle. And also this concept that helping our children actually find anywhere else to live, is going to be a challenge, because will they be able to afford to live by themselves is something we don't know and are not really sure it'll ever really happen, because I don't actually think they'll ever be able to afford to. It's the economy we live in, it's not a viable option for them, which is really sad. And the government are doing nothing to fix it. Now, on top of that, our NHS isn't being put into either. They are not putting the resources they need to into our NHS, which is something they need to be doing and should be doing when we pay for it. Through our taxes, we are paying towards our NHS. But they are not putting the right resources or enough resources into it to make it efficient enough, which means that there is a backlog and mass waiting lists, which make it an absolute running joke in this country that if you ever need actual help, medical help at all, although once you actually get the help, you're in a really good place, because actually when you need the help, once you actually get to see a doctor, the care is amazing. The problem is actually getting to see the doctor in the first place, because the waiting lists are insane. But if they poured the resources they're supposed to into our NHS, we wouldn't have this problem. And that's only getting worse. I was really lucky a few weeks ago when I ended up in hospital. And I say really lucky, it took 3 hours for an ambulance to get to me. If I was in serious trouble, I would have been better off calling a taxi or calling a friend to take me to the hospital. I waited 3 hours for an ambulance to take me to the hospital. But once I was there, I was seen really quickly and everything happened. I was in an O. Now I'm waiting for a referral because they think I have hemiplegic migraines, which is something weird. But yeah, the thing is, you get in there, you get seen, the care is amazing, they know what they're doing, and you get everything done. But now I've got to wait till November for this referral to even come through. See what I mean? They think I might have this, but now I've got to wait till November at least. But the latest I could be even getting to the point where they'll even send me an appointment, which could be till next year I even get the appointment. I might not even get an appointment till next year, but the latest that I'll even know about an appointment will be the 11th of November. And I'm like, okay, thanks. And I'm like, well, that's it's a slow service, which it never used to be. It used to be a very quick, very efficient service, but it's not getting the resources it needs anymore. Our government promised that they would start pouring the resources into the NHS to make it more efficient, and it never happened. And then we have the immigration issue, and where we all believe that there's more illegals here than there ever are legals, which isn't surprising, but we all want better immigration system, so no more immigrants come over. And we all are pushing for this, but they're ignoring us, obviously. Obviously, on the 13th of September, we all stormed Parliament, and we all stormed London, which was incredible. I was well enough to attend, unfortunately, but I did watch it. It was absolutely incredible to watch. And on the 1st of October, we are heading to Westminster. We are not going to let this lie. The government are going to understand that we're not playing games. We are not going to just walk away from this. And on the 6th, we storm our local councils. We are not walking away from this. The government are going to listen. They're going to listen very hard, because if they don't, they're going to lose everything. Well, they're going to lose everything anyway. If they don't listen, we're not going to stop until they do. And on the 7th and the 8th of October, we down tools. The whole country is going to close down for 2 days. Schools, offices, banks, nurseries, shops are going to close. Everything is going to shut down. Every single thing is going to shut down. There will be no pubs, clubs, shops, schools, banks. There will be nothing open in England for 2 days. On the 6th and 7th of October, this country is going to come to a complete standstill. The docks are going to shut down. There will be no lorries, cars, or anything else on the road. For 2 whole days, this country is going to come to a complete standstill. So unless we all want to go for a walk, there'll be nobody outside either. We're going to down tools, and we're going to walk away from everything. We're just going to sit in our homes. We're going to chill out with our children, and we're going to have 2 days of doing nothing. And it's going to be difficult for for a lot of people who actually need to work to be able to survive. 2 days of lost wages is a lot of money, but it has to happen. The government are going to understand that without us, there's no money. Without us, they can do nothing. We are the bread and butter of this country. We are everything to this country. They may think they run this country, but they don't. They may think that this country that they own this country, that without them, this country doesn't run. They're wrong. Because without us, this country is nothing. Without us, they have no money, they have no revenue, they have no anything. There will be no lorries, there will be no anything. We will down tools. There will be no boats, there'll be no ships, there'll be no cargo, there'll be no lorries, there'll be no shipments, there will be anything international. We will down tools. The entire country is coming to a standstill on the 7th and the 8th of October. On the 6th, we are storming our local council offices. And on the 1st, we storm Westminster. I'm so looking forward to it. And although in the reality of it all, I probably won't be at Westminster, I can go to my local office. Hopefully, as long as it's not a really bad day. I mean, with my illness, it's hard work, but doesn't mean I'm not supporting it. But this country is going to show, we the people are going to show our government exactly who we are, and that we are not going to sit back and let them continue to destroy us. It's just not going to happen at all.